Hey everybody, it is a Frozen Tundra semifinal game. We just saw a 4th-and-1 conversion by the Miami Dolphins, the defending champion Miami Dolphins, coached by Todd Hopkins. They're taking on the San Diego Chargers, coached by Paul Mankiewicz. And it is the second drive of the game. San Diego went 3 and out to start. Short pass to A.J. Green here on 1st and 10 after that 4th-down conversion. As you can see, Tom Brady is the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and his card is just ridiculous. Guessed wrong, forget about it. Guessed right, even is really good. Such a low interception chance that makes it a really tough offense to stop. Paul went to the short yardage defense there. Brady, you're not running that much. Or pass to Deion Sims, guessed right, plus 11. Boom, boom, boom. It's 1st and goal, Miami, in the scoreless semifinals. The winner of this game takes on Nathan Baylor and his Los Angeles Rams to the championship game, to the Super Bowl. And run right to Lamar Miller, guessed wrong, but it only goes for 2 yards. Let's take a look at these 3-4 base, while San Diego has average 3-4 base. So 2nd and goal to 6. So it's going to be a tall order for Paul to pull this upset off. Short pass to Macklin, guessed right, 4-man end zone, incomplete. That's one of the few blank spots, guessed right or guessed wrong. Oh no, guessed wrong, it's bad. So only the 10 is 10 and 11 are what you're hoping for if you're defending against Brady. 3rd and goal to 6. 3-3-5 showing blitz. The pass blocking for Miami is good. It goes 7-5-7-7-5. And Paul's pass rush isn't that strong. He's got a nice couple linebackers. Short pass to Deion Sims, covered by a 4. It's guessed right. Receiver reading, plus 12, touchdown. And you see the sack chance there. Vince Wilfork has a 0 pass rush rating against Ryan Coyle. That's not going to result in a sack ever. So Miami takes the early 7-0 lead. Looking to get back to the Super Bowl for the 2nd time in 2 years. They won the Super Bowl last year, I believe. So they're looking to go back-to-back. San Diego doesn't want to fall too far behind. They're going to need some turnovers. They're going to need some good calls. They're going to need some big plays. They run out Ryan Tannehill, backed up by Bilal Powell. Tight end's very good, Tyler Eifert. Dez Bryant's, this is not a good card for Dez. Brandon Cooks has got a good card. So he's got some weapons. Look at Dez's card. It's like, it's not as good as his typical card, but it's not bad. Long pass to Brandon Cooks. Guessed right, 1-man end zone. Receiver reading hits an incomplete, hits a blank. It was a slow start for Tannehill. He went over 2 on that first 3 and out. And now that's his 3rd incompletion. He hasn't completed a single pass yet. We already told you that Miami runs out a good defense. They've got 6'6" Derek Johnson in the middle, Tamba Hali 5'9", 5'40" Ray Maluga, and Thomas Davis 6'7". So that ain't bad. Lots of 5s and 6s on this defense. Flat pass left to Sims. There's 2 men in the zone. Could be bad on the defensive card. And it is on the G card, incomplete. It was a white die 6, so that would have been a plus 9 if it had not been covered by 2 men in the zone. When you're facing a 3-4 defense, that gives them flexibility with the linebackers to do stuff like that. So 3rd and 10. San Diego has yet to get a 1st down. They have yet to get a completed pass over 4 for Tannehill. Short pass to Dez Bryant. Guessed right, covered by 6. And there it is, first completion, first down. Tannehill to Bryant. 1st and 10 at the 31. Bilal Powell in a 2 tight end set. Vance McDonald's the 2nd tight end. Off tackle right to Bilal Powell. Guessed wrong. No mid end zone. Powell's got a decent card. nose tackle +4 or +9, and Ian Williams makes the play. He's a 5 rated nose tackle. He's hurt in the 2015 season, so in the 2016 season, so next year he'll be a 0, or he won't be carded, I mean. San Diego switches to a blocking back halfback set with Charles Sims and Corey Harkey coming into the game. And run left to Sims, guess wrong, but there's a man there as Tamba Ali, and a 6 rated run defender comes into the zone, but it's a short gain on the halfbacks card, so that'll go for another first down. Would have been -6 if Miami had called and run. That's really the basis of this game. Guessed right, guessed wrong. Of course, if that had gone on the G card, that even though he had guessed pass, it would have been a good result for him, because on the defensive cards, if there's a man in the zone, that's just like guessing right. I'll tackle left to Powell. There's a man there. And there we go, -1. So he guessed pass, but because he has his defender in there, instead of gaining 2 yards, because the offensive onside tackle did not make the play, because he had a man there. There's a stark difference between having no men there and 1 man there. And 2 men there, and the 3-4 is deadly. 2nd and 11, short pass to Darren Sproles against a run call. 4 men in zone, guessed wrong though. Sproles is covered by a 5, and it goes on the interception split of Tannehill. Tough break there for Paul. 3rd and 11. Tannehill's 1 for 6. Only that last 3rd down conversion, or the 3rd down completion, is the only completion of the game. Despite the slow start, San Diego has it close to midfield, and at the very least, they've shifted the field on this possession by picking up a couple first downs. Riley Cooper checks into the game as the 3rd wide receiver. It's a long pass to Cooper. He's being double covered, though. I believe it's by the safety, too. It's a dump off 5 yards. That'll be 4th and 6 at the 50, and he'll punt. Sam Martin comes into the game. He can try for a coffin corner here and pin the Miami Dolphins deep in their own end. 5:06 to go in the first quarter. 41-yard punt, and that's going to take it down to the 20. Lamar Miller is the halfback behind Tom Brady. AJ Green and Jeremy Maclin are the 2 premium targets. Sims is okay, and Jack Doyle's okay, but nothing special there. It's really the receivers that make the offense tick, and there's a long pass to Green being double covered by the halfback, or by the linebacker, excuse me, and that is incomplete on Tom Brady's card. Anthony Barr went over there to help him out. 3-4 defense against the blocking back halfback, 2nd and 10. San Diego sorely needs to get a 3 and out here by the Dolphins to get the ball back. Short pass to Macklin, again being double covered, this time by the safety. So that's an even better double team, but Brady can still complete double teams. Let's see what happens. It's a pick. Better than a 3 and out. It's on the defensive cards. 2 through 6 and 12 is an interception, and San Diego has picked the ball off. Let's see if they try to return it. They do, and it goes down to the 25-yard line. They'll take over there. Huge play by Xavier Rhodes, who, with the help of Rashad Jones, who is there on the double team, is able to pick the ball off. And that's what happens in playoff games. Big shifts of momentum. Short pass to Tyler Eifert, guess right. Covered by a 4, 3-man in zone. Defender direction +12, it picks up 12. 1st and 10, 13. San Diego is 13 yards away from tying this game up. We haven't seen a lot of double teaming out of Miami so far. They've been content to flood the flats, keep 4 guys in the zone, off tackle left to allow Powell, call run once in a while. Picks up 2 yards. Would have been a short gain on 6 or 7. Powell's got a slightly higher than average fumble number, so we'll see if that comes into play. 2nd and 8 from the 11. Charles Sims checks into the 2 tight end set. Sims is a good pass catcher, but he can also do some end-run damage and some off-tackle damage. Look at that guest strong short flat pass card, though, and short pass as well. It's a flat pass left to Sims. Guest right, single cover, there's a 5 there. Defender -4, -2, and that's going to lose 4 yards. As Thomas Davis was the defender on that play. Excuse me, I thought it was Tamba Ali, but it's the was a left linebacker that's covered in that 2 tight end set. So 3rd and 12. In comes Riley Cooper. Sims is in a 3. Sims is next to Tannehill. Short pass to Des Bryant, single covered. It is by Jonathan Joseph, though, who's a 6. Receiver rating +13, and that's a first down. Clutch 3rd down conversion. As after I've maligned Des Bryant a little bit. Now he'll have a really good card next year, but he's had better cards in the past. But he comes through with a catch. He's just what Paul needed on that one, having the +13 on 10. 1st and goal 2. Look for San Diego to try to pound this in. Sims are in the backfield. It's a linebacker to Tannehill. Left guard +3 or -1, and James Carpenter makes the block. Takes it into the end zone, and it is a tie game pending the extra point. 6-7, and it is up, and it is good. So 7-7. Chargers take advantage of turning over Tom Brady and the Miami Dolphins. It's a funny combo. Brady has had his struggles. I guess maybe not Brady in particular, but the Patriots have to actually struggle against Miami a little bit. They've won the division every year, of course, except for one. But and the one year they didn't, it was the Jets that took it. But in the NFL, Brady on the Dolphins just seems like a funny thing to say. But again, these are Strat-O-Matic teams. You draft guys. You call your team whatever you want. So here we go. Brady and the Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Flat pass right to Lamar Miller, 2-minute zone, guessed right, and complete. So the Chargers, were on the ropes a little bit. Hadn't been able to move the ball very much, but picked up a couple first downs, punted it, got a turnover, and they tied the game. Now they seem to be calling a much better defensive game. They're on top of what Todd's doing. Let's see if he can mix it up a little bit, maybe mix in some run calls. 2nd and 10. Even if you have Brady, you don't want to be passing it every down. Short pass to Deion Sims, single covered. It's another interception. You see what I'm talking about? You can't be throwing on every down. Those interception splits will come up on the D card. Even the average D is pretty good. So there, San Diego gets the ball. They'll have a 1st and 10 at the 15. There's no penalties in this league, and there's no injuries. Sean Smith that time stepped in front of him, and that was a 20-yard run back. Linebacker to Bilal Powell calling a run. He messed up his defense, so he went to a 4-3 defensive formation, and Christian Covington was the defensive tackle that got counted as a nose tackle in that formation, and he's a 0. So if he had been in his 3-4, he would have only been a 5-yard gain, even with no men in the zone. The CM will do that to you sometimes. You have to make sure you call your formation manually. Check on the broadcast. Let me send this out in case anybody wants to watch this in the Frozen Tundra League. Here we go, 2nd and 1. Linebacker to Charles Sims. There's another run call. This time he's in his right formation, 3-4. Linebacker in zone 0, +4. And Derek Johnson's a 6-6-6. The mark of the devil there. Evil, as they would say in So I Married an Axe Murderer. 3rd and 1. Yeah, Derek Johnson has a 6 pass rating, a 6 run rating, and a 6 pass rush. So nice combo. Linebacker to Powell, another guest right, 2-minute zone. Paul hoping to go on his card. Blocking back, +1 or -1. Oh, nice stand. Facing 2nd and 1. The Miami Dolphins were able to hold him to 2 yards that netted a -1 yardage, and the Chargers will settle for a field goal. It's up, and it's good, so 10-7. Not one to turn away a gift horse from not to look a gift horse in the mouth is a proper way to say that. Paul will take the 3 points, and Todd will attempt to shake that one off, and they're only down 3, come back, drive down for a touchdown, and take the lead. Now let's see if he switches up his play call a little bit, because he's been going pass, which, it's a natural thing to do with Tom Brady, but you got to take some pressure off. The long pass to A.J. Green, he keeps going right back to those 2 receivers, and Paul keeps doubling them. Sean Smith makes the play on that one, even without a double covered. It was only a white die 4. It would have been incomplete. So Jack Doyle can't go long. Deion Sims he can go long, only max of 22. There's a flat pass by Brady to Jeremy Maclin, and it loses a yard. That was 2 guys were in the zone. It looked like a look-in pass. I don't know, a flat pass right. He had shifted the linebacker over. So 3rd and 11, 3-2-6 against a 3 wide. You do this because he's got Preston Smith, and there's a pass rushing threat. But you can get 2 true double teams here. You just have to pick the right 2. Ted Ginn is an excellent 3rd wide receiver. He has completions double covered, which is unusual. Looking past A.J. Green, single covered, and there's nobody there. So this could be a first down, but it only goes for 8 plus 8, guessed wrong. And the Dolphins will have to punt. But that was a good call by Todd on the D card. That could have easily been a first down. 49-yard punt to Rashad Green. He's got 25 yards there. He's an excellent punt returner. Look at that. Touchdown on 3, plus 25 on 6, plus 18 on 10. And that ain't too shabby. So that'll give Paul the ball near midfield. Looking past Bilal Powell. Good call by Todd as he's guest pass and left 2 men there. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Powell in the backfield in the 2 tight end set. 12 minutes to go in the first half. Paul would love nothing more than to open up a 2-score lead by taking this down and getting a touchdown. Short pass to Eifert, single covered, 3-minute zone. Incomplete. See, Tannehill, this is not his best card either. He's got a short pass guessed right, isn't that great? Even guessed wrong isn't that great. A lot of blanks there. You really want to stick with him passing flat, but against the 3-4, you're asking for trouble there. So 3rd and 10, 3 wide, short pass to Charles Sims, single cover by a 5. Tom Bahali on the coverage. He's got a good receiver card if it goes to receiver rating, but it's incomplete on the defensive card, and Paul will punt. Tannehill still off to a little bit of a shaky start, 5 of 13 for 37 yards. But he hasn't turned the ball over. That'll be key in this game. Coffin corner, punt by Sam Martin. Hoping to get a little bit deeper than the 20 last time, but he's going exactly the same spot. So 2 times he's tried to coffin corner punt it, and both times he's kicked it out of bounds right at the 20. Like a magnet drawing the ball there. Blocking back, halfback set. There's a run, end run right to Miller. Guessed wrong, there's only a 4 defensive in there, no linebacker in the zone. That loses 2 as the 4, Danico Autry, steps up and makes the play. So that's only Miller's 3rd run of the day for 4 yards. That kind of explains why he hasn't been running that much. But you're going against an average run defense. You have to stick with it. You might have a couple rolls that disappoint, but just keep pounding, as the Panthers would say. 2nd quarter, 10:30 to go in the half. 2nd and 12. The Miami Dolphins are in their own territory. Short pass to Deion Sims being double covered, but by a linebacker, which means it's not a true double team. So the linebacker does not follow the tight end into the zone, because then it would have been incomplete. Nearly a pick. 2 through 6 and 12 if there's 4 men in zone, but 2 through 11, 11 and 12 is a pick. The other numbers, 5 through 10, are plus 12. So that landed there on 7. 1st and 10, got 12 yards, exactly what he needed. Brady has thrown 2 picks, but the team's only down 3, so Todd's got to feel a little bit good about that. Off tackle left to Miller, picks up 5, guessed wrong. It'll be 2nd and 5. You saw Paul again double teaming the outside guys, knowing that those are really the only 2 that can hurt him deep. But Todd can mix it up and run the ball, use short passing, use some flat passing, I should say, and move the ball that way. Keeps moving those linebackers. That means the zones are open. Off tackle right to Miller, 2 men in the zone. Call pass, but nice stuff there by Paul as Jeremy Parnell can't make the block. It would have been plus 3 if he had. 3rd and 5, containment in play. 3 wide. Ginn comes into the game. Out goes the blocking back. San Diego goes 3-3-5. Looking past Lamar Miller, single cover. There's a 4 there, but the receiver reading was a receiver reading. The receiver roll was 11, which on a looking pass, so he'll have to punt. I think if you're facing Tom Brady, anytime you can get the other team to punt, you're happy. So let's see if Tannehill can put together some first downs here. 8:24 to go, or 8:06 to go in the half. Flat pass right to Powell. There's a 6 Thomas Davis linebacker there. So white die 6 not going to help, but you get a short gain on the quarterback's card. That's all good. See, that's Tannehill's strength. He's got that short or flat pass, guessed right, excellent. Guessed wrong. He's got everything there except a hit, except for the receiver readings maybe and 11, which is an interception split. 1st and 10, flat pass left. So he's getting into a little flat pass action, but rolls a 10, incomplete. Paul's going to try to use a West Coast offense with running and flat passing with an occasional bomb. And of course, you know, when you're facing 3rd and 10 or whatever, you're going to be throwing short most of the time. Charles Sims into the game. Sims is good end run or off tackle. It is an end run, but there's a run call. And guess right means that's no gain. Guess wrong would have been 6 yards. So 3rd and 10. Back to seeing Charles Sims in the backfield. He's thrown a couple times to him short. He's thrown to Eifert a couple times. It's only a 4 free safety back there, so he might go deep to Cooper. No, he goes for a short pass to Cooks, who's guarded by a 6, but he's not doubled. Interception in there. Turnabout's fair play. Miami steps in front of the pass, and they're going to take it back down to the 25. So Darrell Rivas. All right, we got somebody joining us on the broadcast. Hey, Corey, or it's probably Butch, but I'm gonna mute you. We don't want that background noise. Unless you want to jump in, let me know. Long pass to Green, throwing long from the 26. What did I do? No, I'm going to present mine to everybody. And I got to mute. There we go. 2nd and 10 at the 26. We just saw a big interception by the Dolphins on Ryan Tannehill. In run right to Lamar Miller. That's a 12-yard gain. And it'll be 1st and 10 to 14 as Miami attempts to overcome 2 interceptions by Tom Brady to retake the lead. That helps set up really the Chargers 10 points. We're on those turnovers, and Miami got the turnover of their own right now. Flat pass right to Jack Doyle. Guessed right because there was enough men. Oh, I'm sorry, it was guessed wrong. So there wasn't quite enough men on the line of scrimmage, or because The receiver, his coverage man had been moved. It turned into guess wrong, but Jack Doyle, decent blocker, but not a good receiver. If you're going for a championship, that might have been one last trade to make. But I know that Todd traded quite a few pieces to shore up some of his other holes, so he didn't have enough for a blocking back. 2nd and 10 now. 5:06 to go in the second quarter. 3-4 defense showing blitz against a blocking back halfback set. Off tackle draw left. Good call by Todd. Short gain, touchdown. So there's the Dolphins back in the lead on a short gain by Lamar Miller. It was 15 yards. He only needed 14. So touchdown Dolphins. The extra points up and good. 14-10 Miami with 4:48 to go in the half. 20-yard return. Takes it out to the 28. And the Chargers will take over there, trailing by 4. So we saw Todd shift a little bit. He'd been doing a lot of short passes to his 2 primary receivers. Paul was doubling the heck out of them and moving the linebackers to do that. And that last time, Todd shifted to more of a running game and throwing flats even to undesirable targets. And that got the ball in the end zone. Short pass to Vance McDonald. His man is not covering him as he moved him, but it's on the quarterback's card anyway. 38, 4:12 to go. Paul would love nothing more than a nice long touchdown drive using up all the time, giving him the lead back, as Miami will get the ball first to start the second half. 14-10 Dolphins. 2 tight end set. Bilal Powell in the backfield. Remember, he has those short gains on off tackle. Short pass to Tyler Eifert. Single cover, 3-man end zone. Paul kind of wants it to go on the D card, not the O card, because Tannehill guessed right. Isn't that great? It does go on the D card, receiver reading, but that's one of the few spots that Eifert doesn't have. Look at it. Eifert guessed wrong. He's maxed out. But guessed right even. He's going to make that play more often than not, and even double teamed. He's one of those rare tight ends with a double team on 6, double team completions on 6, 8, and 2. So Charles Sims is in there now, 3:54 to go. 2nd and 10. Off tackle left to Sims. Guessed wrong, 0-man end zone. Offensive onside end +5 or +0, and Vance McDonald, that second tight end, comes in handy as it was a white die 6. Remember, Miami's got 2 6-rated pass linebackers in Thomas Davis and Derek Johnson. So you're going to try to get that white die 6. You got to throw over here to the right. And when he's in a 3-4 defense, he's going to stick that extra linebacker over there sometimes to block against that. We saw that earlier. 3rd and 5, 3 wide. Riley Cooper in the game, covered by a 4. Tyler Eifert's covered by a 4. Cooks is covered by a 6, and Des Bryant's covered by a 6. Flat pass left to Sims. There's a 5-rated linebacker there. But he was being double covered by Rashad Johnson, so that's going to force a punt. Even if it wasn't double covered, it would have been +1. So it would have been 4th and 4, and he would have punted anyway. Good call by Todd there, sniffing out the double team. It's a 66-yard punt. The one time that San Diego wasn't trying for a coffin corner. And again, the Dolphins will start at the 20. 2:42 to go in the half. 14-10 Dolphins. Chargers need to stop here in the worst way. You don't want to let the Dolphins get another touchdown and then get the ball back to start the second half. Flat pass left to Doyle. There's a man there. It's a 6. So that's going to be incomplete. Anthony Barr was Johnny on the spot. We probably thought he was going to move him, but he had moved the other linebacker and left Barr at home. We've seen Barr double cover A.J. Green a couple times in this game. 2nd and 10, 2:24. Big play here. Such a tough offense to stop when the opponent has Tom Brady and his excellent short passing guard. Long pass to Macklin, being double covered, incomplete, as Rashad Johnson was over there on him. If it had just been a linebacker double team, that would have been on the guest right portion of the card, which would have been a 29-yard gain. That's the kind of offense you're trying to stop here. 3 wide for the Dolphins. Good call there by Paul. 2:06 to go. They need one more stop here. They go to a 3-2-6 offense so they can get 2 true double teams. Preston Smith is there. You can add a little pass rush. Anthony Barr has some pass rush as well. But the defensive end's only a 5, nose tackle's a 3, and the other defensive end's only a 3. So there's not a lot of pass rush there. So I don't know if you're going to be bringing those guys. Short pass to Lamar Miller, not covered as Anthony Barr's on the line of scrimmage. There's 4 men in zones, though. Guessed right, receiver reading incomplete. Right in between 2 numbers. So the Dolphins will punt. 2-minute warning. Kevin Huber is in the game, or Huber. It's a 47-yard punt. Rashad Green, we already saw how good his punt return card is. He calls for the fair catch this time. So 1st and 10. That could really come into play later. Look at that card. A touchdown on 3. We already saw the 25 on 6 come into action, and 18 on 10 is pretty good too. So we'll see what happens here. Ryan Tannehill trots out with the rest of the Chargers offense. They go 4 wide as Darren Sproles, who's usually in the backfield, comes in. Paul's got 2 really good halfbacks that can receive the ball. 1:52 to go. You might see a lot of flat pass left. White die 6. No, it's a long pass to Sproles. It's guarded by a 4, guess right. Tannehill's not the best on his own card, guess right, but let's see what happens. It's a dump off for 7 yards. Does not get out of bounds. 2nd and 3. Tannehill's 8 for 20 for 68 yards and a pick. But thanks to the Chargers getting 2 turnovers of their own, they're still right in this game. 2nd and 3. He sticks with the 4 wide offense. He's got 2 guys covered by 4s in Sproles and Cooper. 2 guys covered in by 6s and Cooks and Bryant. And then it's a long pass to Cooper, covered by a 4 with a 4 free safety in the zone. Looking for that defender X or plus 29 roll on the D card. It's a must run for 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. Tannehill's not bad, but not great. Guessed right. The must runs help. 3rd and 1. Let's see if Paul lets the time go down. No, they use a timeout. They're being aggressive here. This allows them to shift their offensive formation, though, if they want to run the ball. They do. They go full house. Could we see a long pass to Eifert out of the full house, or even a short pass to Eifert? Remember, he's got the double covered receptions. But the defense is a 3-3-5. That's almost allowing the offense to run there, as Paul would be 6-6-6 up the middle with the enhancement from the formation. So look for a sneak to Tannehill or a line buck to Sims or Powell, maybe even off tackle. It is an off tackle to Powell. Keying Tannehill. So it's going to be guessed wrong on the halfback card, and it gets +2. The only one that wouldn't have been a first down was the 5, the dreaded 5. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the Chargers. They're still only at their own 44. So they've got quite a ways to go. They used their last timeout. 1:30 to go in the half. Let's see if Paul goes back to that 4 wide receiver offense. No, he goes to Bilal Powell in a 2 tight end set. Powell's got some short gains on his card, but they're off tackle and line buck, so you can't really run outside with him to try to stop the clock. I'm not sure I like this. I think I would have rather seen Sims in here with his excellent receiving card and the ability to go outside. Short pass to McDonald, guessed right. 3 men in zone as he pulled the extra DB back to the deep pass zone. It's a dump off for 5 yards, and he gets out of bounds. 2nd and 5. Anytime that the Chargers can get out of bounds here, that's a benefit. They'd at least like to get into field goal range. They're a couple first downs away from that. Now we see Sims in the game. This is more like it because you can run outside against that 4 defensive end. Jabal Sheard's a 4'9". Ian Williams is a 5'2". Calais Campbell's a 6'5". We got Thomas Davis. Short pass to Brandon Cook, single cover, guarded by a 6. 3 men in zone as he pulled the extra DB back again. This could be good if it's a receiver reading. but it's on the offensive card, incomplete. Like I said, Tannehill, that's not his strength. 1:15 to go in the half, 3rd and 5. Charles Sims stays in there, 3 wide formation in the pistol. Tannehill can in run here a little bit. Oh no, he can't in run. He only has that must run. Looking past the Sims, not covered. It's empty zone. This could be good. It'll be Gaston because there's no linebacker in the zone as he was moved out to double team the tight end. Gaston picks up 11. Now Paul's at the 40. He needs one more first down to get in the field goal range. Will he spike it? Will he hurry up? He decides to spike it. 2nd and 10 at the 40. $14-10. Dolphins leading the Chargers. End run left to Charles Sims. Guessed wrong, but there's a linebacker there. Picks up 5. Does he get out of bounds? He does. 3rd and 5. 5 yards away from a first down. This is probably no man's land here. Let's take a quick peek at the Chargers field goal kicker. Yeah, he needs to get to the 32 to have a decent shot at a field goal. Are we going to see another looking pass to Sims? Last time Jarek Johnson vacated the zone. I don't think he's going to do that again. How about a flat pass to Eifert? It's a looking pass to Des Bryant. The 6 stayed home. He's not being double covered, though, so it could be good on the quarterback's card. He'll have to spike it again, but no, it's linebacker in zone X or short gain. So if you'd have thrown it to the outside, he would have gotten a 13-yard pickup or short gain pickup. Yeah, short gain on these cards. 4th and 5, 45 seconds left. See, I'm not sure if I like that spike there, saving the time, because now if you don't pick up this 4th down, you're giving 37 seconds to those Dolphins. So will he punt here or will he go for it? You definitely don't want to kick a long field goal here because you miss it, you're going to give him an additional 7 yards. So he decides to go for it. I like the call. Look for a short pass here. Try to get a dump off. I think we're still in dump off territory. It's a long pass to Cooper. Go big or go home. He's covered by a 4. You need a 4 on Tannehill's card or something on the defensive cards or dump off. Must run only goes for 2 yards. So that would have been a first down on 2 through 8, but he rolled at 9. Tough break there by Paul. 37 seconds left. Miami takes over at their own 33. Brady's he's got Todd's got all 3 of his timeouts. So Brady's a couple of short gain completions away from getting in a field goal range. There's 1, 30 seconds left, plus 11. I don't think you can be passive and just sit back. Paul's got to come up and use those extra DBs to double cover guys, exposing himself a little bit on the deep pass, but he's been excellent figuring out who Todd's throwing to, so he's got to trust that. That would have been incomplete on a double team. Hogan's out of the game, looking past again. Single covered, guessed wrong. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He was correctly double covered. So that saved it from being a 10-yard gain to just being a 3-yard gain. So 22 seconds left as Miami uses one of their timeouts. Paul stays with the 3-2-6. Todd switches to a pro set. Will he run here, trying to break contain? He still has 2 timeouts. Off tackle right. He does decide to run it. Offensive onside guard, +7 or +2. Good result for Paul there. as defense is still in contain, and he had to force him to use one of his timeouts. So 3rd and 5 near midfield. Dolphins at their own 49. They go 3 wide, halfback in the shotgun formation. Kean in as the 3rd wide receiver. Let's see who Paul decides to double cover. Pretty much guaranteed you're going to have those flats open. The question is whether Paul double teams the right guy. He goes long past again. I kind of have a feeling that was coming. Incomplete, though, so he'll have to punt. I like the aggressive pass call, the play call, though. Oh, he's going to go for it. Interesting. It'll give if he misses it, it'll give Paul the ball back with 1 second left, and there's no penalties here. So I think that's a pretty good call because you're going to need to get a touchdown in one play. Instead, he picks up the first down. That means Miami can use their last timeout. They're still at outside field goal range, but they can get one more crack at a bomb. Brady's good on 5. Now I think you need to use those linebackers to double cover those guys and leave 2 guys deep. Or you can get 3 double teams with the 2 outside linebackers, the free safety, leave the second DB deep and pull the extra DB back. Long pass to Chris Hogan, 2-man in zone, incomplete. So there we go. 14-10, Miami will get the ball first to start the second half. Let's see if these guys are going to go right at it or if they need a break. I'm going to go grab something to drink. whoa. They got started pretty quick there. Let's see what I missed. Back as Miami's ready to punt. So we had Miami starting from their own 20. Brady hit Sims for 13. Then a 3-yard run, or 9-yard run to Lamar Miller. Then what happened? Then we had an incomplete on a short pass and a -1 on a Brady sneak. So there's a punt, and the Chargers got exactly what they needed. 3 and out to start the second half, but they're starting deep in their own territory at their 12. End run left to Charles Sims. Guessed wrong. Nobody there. 4 defensive in there. But he makes the play. Jabal Sheard. +1 or +5, and he stepped up and made the play. Second and 9. Sims stays in there. 2 tight end set. He's got that 6 run blocking Vance McDonald over there. He goes for a short pass to Cooks. Covered by a 6, 3-man in zone. 1 linebacker coming to help on the pass rush. Interception split. Barely misses it. 3rd and 9. 2 through 6 and 12 on the guest right pick chance for Tannehill. Three wide, long pass to Cooper. Guessed right, not doubled for free safety in the zone. Incomplete. So Todd's being very protective of the deep pass zone, not leaving it open, but his free safety is a 4. So the defender X, defensive back in zone on 9 and 12, or 2 could all come into play. Sam Martin boots it for 41 yards. He'd love to have that 66-yarder here, but he doesn't get it. Dexter McCluster's back there. The number 1 punt returner calls for a fair catch. 1st and 10. Dolphins take over at their own 46. Very good field position. They're in their typical blocking back halfback, looking past Jack Doyle, 2 men in there, but it goes on the quarterback's card for a 5-yard gain. And run left to Lamar Miller. Guessed wrong. Short gain, 15 yards, and Miami is almost in field goal range. Pace is stepping up here. 1st and 10 to 34. Off tackle right to Lamar Miller. Guessed right. Picks up 5. Good run call there, as that would have been an 85-yard gain. Well, would have been 34-yard touchdown run, but Paul calls a run. Miller's very chunky on those edges, got big numbers. But even in the middle, he's got a short gain or 2 on the end run. Off tackle's got a short gain on 9, 5 and 6 on 6 and 8. Flat pass left to Deion Sims, guessed right. Picks up 5. On 2nd and 5, that'll be 1st and 10 to 24. Now San Diego just wants to hold him to a field goal. All those double teaming with the outside receivers has changed the way Todd's calling it. Off tackle left to Lamar Miller. Picks up 2. Offensive onside guard could not make the block. Orlando Franklin. He's a 4-7, so he's good against the pass, but not so much help on. Oh, he's a 4-5. Excuse me. 2nd and 8 to 22. Big play here. I want to keep him in 3rd and long. Although that doesn't always help with Brady. 12 runs so far for 68 yards for Miller. Very good day. And he's got plenty of carries left. Oh, I'm sorry. He's got 8 carries left. That's not that many, but still decent. And run right to Miller. Defensive end, +8 or +21. And, man, that was almost a 21-yard gallop down to the 1-yard line, but instead Jabal Sheard trips him up as he's running by, stops him for an 8-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 14. Paul doesn't have a lot of weapons to call on. He needs to either call the play right with a run or pass, double team correctly. He's not going to get a sack against that pass blocking with his pass rushers. Off tackle right to Dexter McCluster, man in the zone. Offensive guard +7 or +2, so that stops it for a 2-yard gain. As this time, Jari Evans, who's a 4.7, can't make the play. So white dice 6, 2nd and 8. Paul's got a lot more openings, a lot more areas to defend. Where if you have like good pass and good run defense, makes it a little bit easier. Short pass to Deion Sims, 4-man in the zone, can't stop him. You can't hold him down totally. That's a 12-yard touchdown, and this is now a 21-10, or depending the extra point, 21-10 game. Brady's so tough. Even guessed right, guessed wrong, or doubled. That was a 13-yard completion. So 21-10 Dolphins. 6:36 to go in the third quarter. Kick is 9 yards deep. He decides to take a knee. And it'll be Chargers ball. Trailing by 2 scores now. Start their own 20. Long pass to Eifert, covered by a 4, guessed right. Hoping for some magic here. 4 on Tannehill's card or favorable receiver reading, but instead it's an interception. Two through 10 on the deep pass. And the Dolphins will take over with a chance to really take control of this game. They get a score here. It's lights out there for the Chargers in all likelihood. Brady goes for he looks for a long pass on AJ Green against a short yardage defense. Excuse me. And that was nearly a disastrous result for the Chargers. They get away with it, though. It hits a blank on Brady's card. Short pass to AJ Green being double covered. It's a dump off for 5 yards, 3rd and 5. Short pass to Macklin. Single covered. Receiver reading incomplete. So Paul stems the tide there. Force a punt. Trailing by 11. 49-yard punt. Down to the 8-yard line. Got to return it with Rashad Green. Hope to get that touchdown, but he doesn't get it. That could be a big play. Paul needs to get within a single score, force a punt, and hope that Rashad Green can steal him the game. There's still a lot of time left. You don't want to be abandoning the run. That's Paul's best chance to hit some short gains, but he keeps going to the pass. Short pass there to Vance McDonald. That decent chance for a dump off there as Joe Barksdale against Calais Campbell is a good matchup for Paul. The random roll was a 2. So any other matchup, that could have been a sack. Charles Sims in the game. And run left to Sims. Guessed wrong. Paul's going, come on, give me some love here. He gets some love. Offensive onside guard +8. That's the big boy, Kelechi Osemele. And he pancakes his guy, and that brings Sims for 8 yards. So that brings up a makeable 3rd and 2. Darren Sproles in the game. 2 tight end set. Not sure how good of a runner Sproles is, but he can definitely catch a pass now. But it's an in-run left to Sproles. Guessed wrong. Picks up 5. Solid to pick up. Not a great card, though, running. Maybe that's why he brought him in, to get the pass call. First and 10 out to the 25. It's a struggle for the Chargers to move the ball. They don't have a dynamic offense. They need to get some favorable rolls. Off tackle left to Bilal Powell. This could be good. Short gains on 7 and 8, I think. It's on 6 and 7, and that goes for 16. That's what he needs to do. Run the ball, guess wrong, and land on his own cards. That's been difficult to do, as even with that 16-yard gain, Powell's only averaging 3.8 yards per carry. So that means before that, it was 7 runs for 14 yards. Short pass to Eifert. Guessed right, 3-minute zone, plus 11 into Dolphin territory. Got to keep mixing it up. There was a sack chance there, Ian Williams against Jeremy Zutaw. That favored the Chargers. So maybe that's why they're throwing so much. They have so many good dump-off opportunities. Off tackle left, there's a man there. Guessed wrong. Could be good on Powell's card. Picks up 4. Second and 6. You want to get some points on this drive. You've crossed midfield. You're at the Dolphins 44. Second and 6. You want to a manageable third down situation. Charles Sims comes into the game in a 2 tight end set against the Dolphins 3-4. Cooks hasn't really done much today. Eifert hasn't done much today. Looking past Charles Sims. There's a linebacker there, but he's 5 rated. Ray Malaluga. And the receiver reading goes in the Chargers' favor. Very nice receiver card, flat, guessed right for a halfback. Picks up 7. First and 10 at the 37. Tannehill 12 of 31 for only 102 yards. That ain't good. Short pass to Eifert against the run call. This is a favorable possibility here for the Chargers. Let's see if it gets a favorable result. Remember, Tannehill still has quite a few blanks on his card. Oh, and it gets an unfavorable result. The most unfavorable result you can imagine. Guessed wrong. 9 roll. Pick chance 2 through 5, 11, and 12, and it hit it. So bad break there for Paul. If he had gone deep there, that would have been a long gain, or plus 30 something, plus 29, plus 31, something like that. Defender in zone, extra plus 29, I believe. Long pass to Macklin against the key run call, guarded by a 4, receiver reading, incomplete. Chargers are still in this, though. Get a stop, get a punt, go back to what you were doing. Since those early interceptions by Brady, he's been flawless. He has had a couple of good opportunities to hit some deep passes. That hasn't worked out, but he has been doing good at avoiding the turnovers. And run right to Miller. There's that short gain on 7. Seems like every time you turn around, Miller's hitting a short gain. Whereas when Powell has a guess wrong run or Sims has a guess wrong run, it goes for plus 4 or plus 6. Occasionally, I think we saw it once at the short gain card. But that's what these games are all about, you know. Got to make some good calls. Got to get some good rolls. There's a 6-yard guess wrong run. Second and 4. Again, we saw the double team coming from the double team of the 2 deep targets, Macklin and Green. Short pass to Sims, guessed wrong, incomplete on an interception split. He had to have been doubling Sims for that to be a pick. Hard to do. He's not that great of a target, but we've seen him do that. We've seen him do that with his inside linebacker and double team to the other guys. 3rd and 4. We're going to get a run call here. We're going to get a flat pass. We're going to get a short pass. I'm guessing short pass to Green. Let's see. It's an end run left to Lamar Miller. There is somebody there. Oh, there's not somebody there. I'm sorry, he was on the inside. Defensive end, plus 11 or plus 47. Malik Jackson makes the play by stopping it from being a 47-yard gain, but if he had had a linebacker there, he would have had a chance for a stop. Anthony Barr is a 6'5", so that would have been a -4, and that would have forced a punt, as the white die was a 5. So 1st and 10. Short pass to Sims. 3-minute zone, incomplete. 2nd and 10. So Brady hasn't really been great today. Let's face it. I mean, I said he's been flawless, but he just hasn't turned the ball over since those 2 early picks. But he has only got 125 yards passing. So Paul's been doing a good job of controlling him. It's been the running game that's turned things around for the Dolphins. Short pass to Macklin, 4-minute zone, guessed right. Long gain, 35 yards, down to the 12-yard line. Hit a receiver rating that landed on Macklin's 12 long gain. Paul was not doubling with the free safety, which would have really come in handy there. Now this is a do or die time for the Chargers. You have to hold them to a field goal here to keep it a 2-score game. Instead, it's a run call against the short pass, plus 11 down to the 1, and or hand off to Miller here, right up the middle, and it'll be a touchdown. No, he goes for a short pass to Green. Still a good call with Brady, though. Look at that. Guess wrong card. My, oh, my. Catches it in, and now it's an 18-point game. The Dolphins, in all likelihood, barring some miracle comeback, are headed back to the Super Bowl. A kick 8 yards deep to the end zone. Shane Vereen doesn't have a great return card. Takes it out anyway. I'm not sure. The only really impactful roll would have been a Snake Eyes to get it out to the 30-something, 39 or 38. Instead, the Dolphins will start on their 12. I mean, that could have been disastrous. Could have started at the on a 7 roll. Could have started at the 3-yard line. Off tackle left to Powell. This is what you have to do. Just keep running wrong. 14-yard gain, short gain. Just keep doing that. Get the ball down the field. Run some draws. Get those short gains. Find the end zone. You need to do that as quickly as possible. Off tackle left to Powell. Didn't run a draw, though. So it goes in the D cards. It'll be 1-man zone. And there it is. Nose tackle -1 or +3. I don't think that's a good result even without a man in zone. It's still going to be a 0-yard gain. As the white die was a 5, and Ian Williams' run rating is a 5. 2nd and 11. I still would have rather stick with a couple more Powell off tackles. Short pass to Dez. 4-minute zone, guessed right. We've seen how difficult it is to get a first down on Tannehill's card, but he does hit it. +12 there, so good call. Powell's back in there. They're blocking back halfback set. Look for another off tackle left. Maybe Todd will switch him up and call run here, but with a 3-score game, I think he's content just to call pass and make him work his way down the field. White die 6 comes into play. It's a 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1, close to midfield now. So the Chargers coming into this game were heavy underdogs. They would have needed several things to go their way. Big plays and turnovers. They had it early, but they couldn't. They had that second pick. They had the ball, I think, at the 8-yard line or 5-yard line, and they were facing a 2nd and 1. They couldn't pick up that first, and they had to settle for a field goal. And run left to Theo Riddick. There's somebody there, and he loses 2 yards. Nice stuff there by Todd. Tom Bahali forces Theo Riddick back. Powell comes back into the game, 3rd and 3. Todd's happy to have him inch down the field and eat up clock. The further it gets without him putting points on the board, the closer Miami is to a victory. 2 tight end set with Powell back there. Miami goes 3-3-5. Off tackle left to Powell. Guessed wrong. 0-minute zone. This should be a first, and it is. +9. Only a 4 or 5 would have not made it to a first down. Powell stays in there, even though he's on level 1 fatigue. He can still run 4 times effectively. Into Dolphin territory, 7:48 to go in the game. Off tackle left to Powell. Nobody there. Guessed wrong. Another short gain. So it's a 14-yard gain, but because you're fatigue level 1, you lose a yard. So that's a 13-yard gain, which, who cares? You hit a short gain, you're fine with them taking a yard off. So you can see Powell run a couple more times. But instead, we got Charles Sims into the game. 7:12 to go. Sims doesn't have those stacked short gains, guessed wrong. He's got it more spread out. He's got 1 short gain, and he's got some bigger numbers on the edges. Long pass to Tyler Eifert, guessed right, covered by a 4. +28, he hits the big number. And Paul's like, where was that earlier? I kept throwing those picks. It's actually the same, almost exactly the same chance of rolling an interception, barring the split, as it is hitting that +28. They're both 2 out of 36. So let's see. 1st and goal at the 6. Short pass to Eifert through 4-minute zone. Guessed right. Receiver reading, touchdown. So there you go. 6:18 to go. Makes it 28-17. But that means the Chargers are still down 2 scores. So do you go for an onside kick here? Remember, you do have a dangerous punt return card. That could give you some hope if you get the ball back after a punt. They go for the onside kick, which you kind of have to do, I guess, but they didn't get it. So now you're really playing with fire, as the Dolphins are really 1 first down away from a field goal range. A flat pass right to Miller against short yardage. It's going to pick up 8. So 2nd and 2. The Dolphins don't care if they need to run clock, because you're going to stack the box like that. They're just going to keep throwing short. Look at Brady's card short. That's not a difficult play to complete. So they're already in field goal range after those 2 first downs. You kind of have to play it straight up. Let them run almost. There's a bigger chance of them hitting a bad roll on a guessed wrong run than there is on hitting a bad roll on a guessed wrong pass. I'll tackle right to Miller. Paul decides the same thing, and then right away the roll. That's when you know it's your day. Todd gets that roll +11 with the linebacker out of the zone, which turns it into +21, and now it's 1st and goal at the 6. And you can't just stack the line of scrimmage and call a run, because boom, he's going to hit a short gain. Hit a guess wrong completion on Brady's card, and you're dead. Guess wrong run for 4 yards. So yeah, you're on the horns of a dilemma here. There's really not much you can do. Even guessed right, that's a 3-yard gain. So good luck defending it. If you can get a correct key or a correct double team here, you want to give yourself a chance. After run call, 2-minute zone, loses a yard, so he's got a chance. It's got to hold him to a field goal here. Still a tall order. A touchdown totally ends it. And run right to Miller, loses a yard. So he's still on life support. You still hear the beep, beep, beep. Defense takes a timeout. After this field goal, Paul is going to need 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the game. Field goal's up and good, 31-17. Return takes it out to the 24. So with 2:06 or 2, let's see how much time is there. Yeah, 2:06. So 2:06 to go. Got to get 2 touchdowns. You need a touchdown, onside kick, and another touchdown. Rashad Green and his excellent punt return card is not going to bail you out. 2 men in the deep zone. Needs a 4 on Tannehill's card. There, it's a snake eyes. Doesn't quite get it, but at least he avoids the turnover. Second and 10. Rome wasn't built in a day, and long touchdown drives are not always built in one play. So if you see him leaving zones open, take advantage of it. Maybe throw a look in here. It's going 3-2-6. He goes for a looking pass. The 0 rated extra DB there. Picks up 5 yards, guessed right. 3rd and 5. Chargers will use a timeout, I bet. He might go hurry up to try to keep him in that 3-2-6. Nope, calls timeout. So you can have that Derek Johnson in the middle of that defense, and there he is at 3-3-5. Long pass to Riley Cooper. He needs to roll here. And it's an interception split. He doesn't need that roll. 4th and 5. This is the game, folks. Let's see if Paul goes off life support here. Beep, beep, beep. 3 wide. Against a 3-3-5. Short pass to Tyler Eifert. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, he's still alive. Tannehill hits a +12. I was about to flatline him. But he doesn't get out of bounds. Out to the 41. Uses his last time out. 1:37 to go. Still alive. Long pass to Cooper. 2 men in the zone. Hanging with Mr. Cooper. He needs that 4 on the quarterback's card. Just got it on a short pass. Can we see a duplicate roll? Nope, he gets a dump off for 7. Got to spike it. I'll bring up 3rd and 3. 1:22 to go. Now he goes, hurry up. 2nd and 3. He didn't need the down there, Paul. He needed the time. Hoping for another dump off. Or maybe he'll go flat to Sims. Short pass to Sproles. Covered by 5. Short gain on a dump off. It gets out of bounds. 1:07 to go. So I say you need the down more than, or the time more than the down in those situations. 1st and 10 though. Only cost him a tick. Short pass to Des Bryant. 4 men in zone. Guess right. 1:07 to go. Needs another dump off. Instead, it's a must run for 0 yards. That would have been a good time for a must run for 28 yards. So now what do? Spike it or hurry. He goes hurry. Field goal does you no good. 45 seconds left. You need to get in the end zone and ASAP. So look for a bomb here. I'm trying to hit Tannehill's card. Nope, it's a short pass to Cooks, covered by 6. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 to 37. Long pass to Sproles, one man in zone. Looking for Tannehill's card or a good result on the D card. It's a long gain, 76 yards, and he's into the end zone. So that huge play there keeps the ever so faint hopes for overtime alive for the Chargers. Now they need to recover the onside kick, and they'll have the ball with 15 seconds left. Enough time for a Hail Mary or two. Not only did you get the long gain, you got the big gain on the long gain neutral column or chart. Kicks up and good. So here we go. Beep, 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 beep. So there you go. It was a good fight for Paul. He is now officially flatlined as the San Diego Chargers go out to the defending champion Miami Dolphins 31-24 in an exciting semifinal game, and the Dolphins will take on the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady takes a knee. That's the official game over. And a fun game. It just would have been nice to have Paul with the ball. One last chance just for giggles there at the end. But Todd called it a very good game. He has an excellent team, and he's got a good chance to go back to the Super Bowl and repeat. The better team won. Just definitely had more talent. Paul's probably happy with his Frozen Tundra season to get this far. Todd's gracious in victory, and Paul's gracious in defeat. Take a quick look at the box score. Pretty even statistically. We saw the turnovers favor the Dolphins. 3 picks for Tannehill. And that really was a difference. There was a couple times where Paul was driving either in scoring range or getting close to scoring range, and he'd turn the ball over. Jamar Miller had a huge game, 20 for 130, including a touchdown. Fun game to watch, and good luck to both Todd and Nathan in the Super Bowl. I think Nathan's got a tough ask as well. He's made it to the Super Bowl with either a poor run defense or a poor pass defense, one of those two. Let's take a quick look here. Quick Super Bowl preview. So Miami, I don't even have the final league file up here. Let me go grab that. Let's take a quick look at the playoff while that's downloading. So Miami beat San Diego and Phoenix to get here. That Phoenix game was a close one, 15-14, as Dave Will really called a great game there and had a chance to win it. Had a lead in the fourth quarter with a vastly undermanned team, and then the Rams, I can't remember who they beat in their second game. I didn't get that result. They beat the Hitmen in their first game. So let's take a look at the file here. So Miami was 13-3 in the regular season, the number 1 seed. We saw a good look at their team today. The Rams were 12-4. 12-4, despite having poor run defense, good pass defense, but poor run defense. So they're able to overcome that and win 12 games. That's a heck of a season by Nathan and his Rams. Matt Ryan is his quarterback. His halfbacks are Le'Veon Bell and Jeremy Langford. Danny Woodhead back there to catch some passes. Jimmy Graham's one of his receivers. Torrey Smith has got a lot of yardage on his card, and Martavis Bryant. So really good offense good pass defense has helped him overcome that one fatal flaw, which is the poor run defense. So this should be a good Super Bowl. So hopefully I'll be able to call it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm going to shut this down. All right, take care.